Freeholder Estrada.
Present.
Freeholder Granados. Freeholder Hudak.
Here.
Freeholder Kowalski. Freeholder Mirabella. Freeholder Wright. Vice Chairman Bergen.
Present.
Chairman Jallo.
Here.
Chairman, you have 5 freeholders present. You have a quorum.
Clerk of the board, can you please lead us in a prayer and salute to the flag?
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk of the board, can you please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act?
Chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2015, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2015 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2015 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you. We'll approve the following communications in next week's regular meeting. Department of Administrative Services, Norman Albert.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the board. Department has 2 resolutions, seeks to authorize the county manager to enter into 2 contracts. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions from the board? Seeing none, thank you, Director.
Thank you.
Department of Economic Development, Deputy County Manager William Reyes.
Good evening, Chairman, freeholders. Economic Development has 3 resolutions for your consideration, and if I may, I would like to add a resolution that would authorize the county to partner with the United Way of Greater Union County to launch the Focus on Families initiatives, which would establish 2 new family success centers in the county. And I'm prepared to answer any questions you may have.
You'll provide us backup for that before the next
Absolutely.
meeting? Okay. Any questions from the board? Thank you, Director.
You're welcome.
Department of Human Services, Director Frank Guzzo. On the queue.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, the Department of Human Services has 5 resolutions on for your consideration. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
Any questions from the board? Freeholder Carter.
Director Guzzo, can you go a little bit into number 1 and number 5? Because it looks like we have the Municipal Alliance Plan countywide subcontract with prevention links. I know that it seems small, but just go into that a little bit.
So number 5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is asking the board to authorize a movement of dollars. There were dollars for countywide services that were not going to be used, so we reprogram them into prevention links, which allows them to provide more services. Those dollars would have been lost if, in fact, we didn't reprogram them. So that's what that resolution is about.
So it's funding that we get in
Yes.
and all, so it's not funding that, okay, it's funding that we receive in. Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Hudak.
maybe I didn't know, the reprogram, what are the purposes of the reprogram?
Prevention Links wants to run a countywide heroin addiction program. Heroin, unfortunately, has become a prevalent drug of abuse within Union County. $3,000 that's being reprogrammed into that to allow them to do a countywide program is dollars that are available in our budget countywide that were not used because we had some vacancies that existed, didn't use all the dollars. We would lose those dollars. So according to the resolutions that you passed, we're allowed to move dollars within. So this allows us to keep the dollars in the county, give the additional dollars to prevention, and allow them to do the program that is a targeted program in the county.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. Thank you, Director.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Department of Parks and Recreation, Director Zuber.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Freeholders. Department of Parks and Recreation has one item on tonight's agenda for your consideration. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have, and if I may, Mr. Chairman, if this resolution is authorized, it would be going to our sensory-friendly theater program and our carnival that we have for individuals with disabilities at Oak Ridge this summer.
Any questions from the board? Thank you, Director Zuber. Department of Public Safety, Director Andrew Moran.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. Department of Public Safety has one resolution on for your consideration. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from the board? Seeing none, thank you. Department of Public Works and Facilities, Director Joseph Graziano.
Good evening, Chairman, Freeholders. The department has 6 resolutions on tonight for your consideration. I'll try and answer any questions you have.
Any questions from the board? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'll ask if any freeholders have any additional resolutions to add or friendly amendments. Freeholder Hudak.
Thank you, Chairman. As the fiscal chair, I will be submitting a resolution for next week's regular meeting amending the 2015 budget as introduced. However, as per the New Jersey State Statute 40A:4-9C, the amendments are such that a public hearing on the amendments are neither necessary nor required. The amendments do not add a new item of appropriation in the amount in excess of 1% of the total amount of appropriations as stated in the approved budget, or increase or decrease any item of appropriation by more than 10%, or increase the amount to be raised by taxes by more than 5% unless the same is made to include an emergency temporary appropriation only.
Thank you. Any other freeholders?
I have laudatory.
Auditory from Freeholder Carter. Laudatory
I'll be adding a little auditory as well.
from the Vice Chairman. Anyone else? I'll be adding some advisory board appointments. So yeah, you can add that. Let's see. County Council, Deputy County Council, we have a need to go into executive session. Can you please make a statement relative to same?
Yes, Chair. Pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, a public body may enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing certain enumerated subjects. This board will now enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing attorney-client privilege communications and discussions of potential settlement in the matter of Barbara Sardargas versus the County of Union, for the purpose of discussing attorney-client privilege communications relative to ongoing contract negotiations with PBA Local 199, and attorney-client privilege communications relative to ongoing contract negotiations with CWA Local 1080. The minutes of the executive session shall be separated from the minutes of the open public session. The minutes of the executive session, redacted as appropriate and necessary, shall be available in approximately 30 days. The clerk of the board shall retain the original minutes until such time as the confidential limitations have been removed, at which time they shall be made available to the public. Upon this board's return, it may or may not take formal action on the matters discussed. Upon a majority vote of the members present, the board may now retire to executive session.
Thank you. May I have a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Carter, seconded by Freeholder Hudak. Clerk of the board may I have a roll call.
Freeholder Carter,
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada,
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak,
Aye.
Freeholder Vice Chairman Bergen,
Yes.
and Chairman Jallo.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 5 votes in the affirmative.
All right, we're in executive session. To the regular meeting.
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Hudak, seconded by Freeholder Carter. Clerk of the board may I have a roll call.
Freeholder Carter,
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak,
Aye.
okay. Freeholder Estrada,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Bergen,
Yes.
and Chairman Jallo.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 5 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. Is there any statement, Deputy County Council, that we need to make relative to the executive session?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. As a result of the discussions in executive session, I wish to add a resolution authorizing a settlement in the Sandargus v. County of Union matter.
Thank you. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Carter, seconded by Freeholder Hudak. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.